My name is Jill Adams, and on this episode of Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show, Miss and Mrs. India Guyana franchise holder Hashim Alli talks about his childhood experience from growing up in Little Diamond, his joy as a father, and the benefits of marriage. Is that one of your designs you're wearing there? I hope so.
It is.
Okay.
It is one of our
What is the name of this design?
Oh, this is actually from our yours and hers line.
Yours and hers? Okay.
Yeah.
So neat. Yours and hers. That is and hers. I like that. These topics and more as we sip and chat with Hashim Alli here on Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show.
Hey guys, this is Hashim and you tune into Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show. And of course, drink responsibly.
So Hashim, what's up? Welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
long overdue.
Yes, it is.
How you feeling?
Good. Thank you for having
It's traditional for us to take a shot at the beginning of the show.
me. Okay.
So, I'll let you choose. Which one would you like to?
Raspberry looks good.
Raspberry looks good. All right, good. So, you want to give me
Sure.
a second. Raspberry. I wonder if you picked the raspberry because you're wearing the burgundy blazer.
Could be.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
That's pretty nice.
Really good.
So for the viewers who may be looking and probably wondering who Hashim is, you wanna give them a brief introduction about who you are?
Sure. Do we have all day to do this?
You probably will need all day.
But just a summary, I'm quite easygoing, very humble, come from very humble beginning, and I've managed to achieve a whole lot.
At a young age.
Thanks. At a very young age, but I'm very much gifted. I believe in developing and sustaining local talents, and I believe that the world is looking at us and we can contribute.
Definitely. So where did Hashim grow up?
I'm actually from Little Diamond. It's on the East Bank. You can call it Diamond. The little diamond of the diamond. Very quiet. The neighboring the community there is very much involved in our growth. So you'll find people walking on the streets. There's always a joyful face. There's always a good morning. There's always how you're doing. Very polite.
Is that still happening? Because when I was growing up, the community, like anybody in the community, they saw you doing any craziness, they could have whooped you and stuff like that. Is that still happening?
Some of that is still happening.
It's still happening.
It is.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Not in tongue, man. You can't even say 90 your neighbor's kids. So what are some of your favorite childhood memories from growing up there in Little Diamond?
From the normal crickets on the street.
Okay.
To the funhouse, salad, even the backyard lineman cooks. We're at the
bush cook.
Yeah, the bush,
bush cook.
Now that I'm much more responsible and I'm very, very au fait with health and safety, that's now I realize why we used to hide from the parents and do this. Kids don't do this.
Okay.
And we're at what? 11, 12,
yeah.
This one is bringing some rice.
One bringing some other leaf with a pig from the neighbor yard. Bringing some salt.
And then Jamal, what's funny is that we actually used to save our money from school. So everybody's going to put this money together and we're going to buy a half-pound chicken.
Yeah.
And that is going to do for all of us. But those are very good memories.
I understand that you were the last of your parents. What were some of the benefits of being the baby of the family?
Spoiled. It's a known fact, and it's not cliche in my situation. I am very spoiled, but I more look at it that I was privileged I have so much guidance and so much support from my entire family circle. It really made me and molded me into the person I am.
You grew up with two older brothers and I think a sister,
Yes.
if I'm correct.
Yes.
Where I ain't have no older brothers or sisters. I was eldest with my parents, but I had some older cousins. Both male and female. And what used to happen is that we used to always be competing with everything. Every single thing we do, we used to compete. Whether it's eating, who could eat the food the fastest, whether it's showering, whatever. Were you and your brothers competitive?
No.
No.
And it's strange, but no. We always pull to different things. My siblings are never into entertainment. I don't know where this came from. Never into entertainment. We're very cultured. They will be more swimming and cars and bikes, where I will be more cricket, my friends, streets. And even if we going out, our style of dressing is so different. Very different.
Wow. So at no point you would have to worry about if your brother would have eyed one of your jersey and wear it when you got to school or nothing.
That does happen. I mean, in any siblings' home, that will happen. But we never saw it as a competition.
Yeah.
We will get angry.
Of course. You wear me nice boardage jersey.
Exactly. But we had my brothers and I especially, we have a very open relationship.
Okay.
Where we tell it as it is, and we know that we shouldn't or we wouldn't take offense.
Okay. So what are some of the schools you would have attended while growing up?
Well, I started primary school at Eccles Primary.
Eccles Primary.
And then in secondary, I ventured off to Richard Ishmael Secondary. My tertiary education came from Nations University through Cambridge University. And I'm still at Nations University at AB. Put it all together, I believe that my educational background came from so many different areas.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important things. It taught me you have academic, but then you have the real world. And you need to balance that. It. And so I had the balance.
So you just said that you came from Eccles and you went to Richard Ishmael. Correct. What was that transition like, coming from country, then tongue, whereby it's a whole different culture?
Like you said, it was a whole different ball game. Everybody was so different because we have people from the West Coast, we had people from Georgetown, and what was interesting enough that from my village there were two people that was at the school.
Richard Ishmael?
Yeah.
Wow.
And in my class, my best friend got to school.
Okay.
So it was my best friend, it was me, and there were the two others from the same class that I was in. And the two people that used to live in my area. So I was never alone.
Okay, I
was really never alone.
So what were you aspiring to become at that young age while you was attending Richard Ishmael? Who Hashim wanted to grow up to become?
I was looking more in maybe a flight attendant. I was always fascinated by television also. I made that dream a reality.
Okay.
Will I make a flight attendant dream a reality? I don't think so. Because that changed the first time I flew. I literally got into the aircraft, took my seat, I buckled up, and before you knew it, I woke up when I arrived.
Wow.
So I'm a deep sleeper on the aircraft. So that would have never worked.
So tell us a little bit about the driving force in your life when it comes to you taking education serious as a young man. Who was that person, or who were those persons who was basically like encouraging you to, focus on your book, Hashim? This is important. School is important. I mean, the cricket and stuff is good, but make sure you focus on your book. Who was that person, or who was those person?
Those would have been very instrumental figures, but two that comes to mind is definitely my sister.
Your sister?
Because she was older. She was the older one. And she really instilled the values of reading and doing your assignments and always putting in the efforts of being of reaping the success of my academic years. And another was my primary school teacher, Miss Apire, who I know people will look at this and they will probably recollect and remember such a great name, especially if they link it back to Eccles Primary. Miss Apire was a driving force in my life, but a lot of other lives. Where she really pushed you. When I say pushed you, she pushed you even with the wild cane. And we get there at 7:30 Jamal in the morning. She would over school somewhere around 3. So we come home at 3 and then we go back for 3:30.
Wow.
And we're out at 9:30.
Night?
Yes.
Wow.
And this was every day. Leading up to our common entrance. So
was it free or you had to pay?
It was free.
Wow.
Because we were in her class.
Wow, that's nice.
And then we lost the accommodation for the school. So she brought our class at her house. Yeah. So it was really, she was really instrumental in my growth outside of my family.
And that's something you don't see these days, whereby teachers are paying so much attention.
But she's actually still doing it to this day.
At Eccles?
Not Eccles. She's at the private school, but she's still doing that extra lessons. All right,
so let's make a toast to Mrs. Paya.
Sure.
Which one would you like to?
Maybe we can go with the Malibu.
The Malibu, yeah.
I see you kind of.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite. I like the sweet drinks. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sweet drink person, so we get a toast to Mrs. Is she from Eccles?
No, she's actually from Prospect.
From?
Prospect.
Prospect, okay, so cheers to Mrs. Paya. Not bad, smooth.
I see why you like it.
With orange juice, it goes good. So Hashim, tell us a little bit about some of the jobs that you would have had over the years and what you currently do.
I started my working career actually very interestingly in the financial sector. I was in accounts as an accounts clerk.
Okay.
And then like we all know, that didn't happen. That didn't last more than 3 months. My manager then, he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here?" Who is my very good friend still like today. I really learned a lot from him. Very influential in my life to this day. And so he said to me, "Hashim, you're at the wrong place." And then an opening happened to come up within the same company in marketing. And that's where I got my feel. I ventured off into a marketing assistant position, and then ever since then I grew within the sales and marketing sector. That led me to merchandising and promotions at another company, and then sales and marketing, and now I'm still in that position. But my journey through my work life has really taught me that you never work one day if you love what you do.
That's true. That's true.
It's very true. And that really is my driving force. I believe that no matter what you do, you give it your 101%, and you will see the success and rewards that comes after. But apart from my job life, I did venture off into television. I did venture off into my entertainment field, which all coincide with what I've done.
It's no secret that you're a marketing expert by profession, as you would have just mentioned. But tell us a little bit about your role within the Mistress and Mrs. India franchise here in Guyana.
Actually, it was only last year that I was awarded the Miss and Mrs. India Guyana franchise. Prior to this, my wife and myself would have, and still do, have the Miss Global International Guyana franchise. And prior to this, that we would have already ventured off into pageantry. Myself being the driving force behind the success of many beauty queens in Guyana before I really stepped front in a director's position. And it only goes back to my love for talents and my love to see that our industry as a whole grow and really excel on the international stage.
You're currently the national director for the Miss Global pageant,
Yes.
if I'm correct. Forgive me, but this is something I know nothing about, the Miss Global. Tell us a little bit about the Miss Global pageant, what it is and what does it represent, what is its main objective?
Great. So the Miss Global International pageant has been originated and founded in Jamaica by Lachu Ramchandani. And ever since then, he basically created a platform for women to create a sisterhood and unite as one while showcasing and promoting their tourism of their country. And that's really draw us, draw our curiosity and really got us involved in the pageant. The fact that it was tourism, it is tourism based. It sells a whole different idea. It sells your country, it promotes the country, and that's what I was hoping for. I really wanted to make Guyana bigger than it is. And just to give you a little synopsis of that, I think my team and myself really did that. We ventured off in 2014 with limited knowledge of what this pageant was all about. Secured a spot in the top 10, secured a spot in top 3 in Best Talent Round, and was also awarded a best prize. That year, it was Onisha Hudson who represented us. And then came 2015, the very popular, charismatic Alicia Best represented us really well. Was the first Guyanese to take us into top 3.
Wow.
She came in second runner-up. And so that made way for 2016 representative, the very popular Poonam Singh. Ventured off to Dominican Republic, and she was awarded first runner-up with about 8 prizes.
Wow.
So it was like a clean sweep for her. And then, of course, if you do it, second runner-up, first runner-up, you'll know that automatically in 2017 we were coming for the crown, and that's what we did with Cynthia Duki.
Wow.
Walking away with the international title, bringing it back for Guyana. It was the only international title that ever came to Guyana for 2017. Just let me clear that, just for 2017. For the year of 2017, it was the only, because people tend to get really mushy when you make these statements. So, so for 2017, we brought back the only international title, and Cynthia Duki was that person. So that gives a little synopsis of the pageant. So it really lends that support to tourism, and that was a hidden factor that we got.
What about the response from the Guyanese public to this pageant? How is that?
Jamal, I must say, it was overwhelming.
Wow.
Guyana has really supported us, and they still do. We're one people with one nation and one destiny. And I really think that everybody supports our girls and support the franchise. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say it's all well and it's all bloomy. It isn't. There is calls for corporate Guyana to come on board and support this, while we're aware that there are challenges that face the pageant industry. And it would have been started by, franchise holders and people that really didn't understand the essence of what this platform really is. Corporate Guyana needs to move away from this mentality and give us a chance to come up as a voice.
Yeah.
I must say this, and this is a very good platform for me to say this. Myself and some other international franchise holders for Guyana are all pulling together, and we're going to start a society, a pageant society.
Wow.
Where we sensitize corporate Guyana on what our purpose really is.
Nice.
And in that way, we protect our girls, we protect our brand, we protect your company. So this is in the pipeline. It's something that I'm really eagerly awaiting.
Let's stray away from the pageantry topic for a while, for a bit. The liquor get into me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Blue Jeans unit. You had a show by the name of the Blue Jeans Unit. What was the inspiration behind the Blue Jeans Unit? Because when you think about the blue jeans, you're thinking about clothing, pants.
You know, back then I really wanted to be out of the box, and I challenged myself even to this day. Whatever I do should always stand alone, and it should always speak of me, which is something that you would normally think of. And so when I ventured off into TV, I wanted something to say, this is Hashim, and this is what he brings to the table. So I was sitting with my friends one night, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this show. It's going to have talent and music and interviews and history, but I want it to be different. I don't want to say, Guyana hour or the entertainment hour or something like that. I wanted to really be different, and I actually had on a blue jeans.
Blue jeans.
And when we were actually, I think we were even having a drink, my friends and I, and I looked around, and while I was looking around, I see everyone was wearing a blue jeans.
Blue jeans, right?
And I said to them, why not we call it a blue jeans? And then I say, blue jeans what? And then my friend popped out unit.
Unit.
Blue jeans unit. That's the name.
So what was that show about?
Oh, it's a show whereby we promote local talents. We had an a historic moment where we did historic monuments. We talk about the history of Guyana. It's about 5 minutes, somewhere along that. We would meet entertainers, have interviews, and of course, the regular music videos and stuff that really took.
So we spoke about you as a marketing expert. We spoke about you as the national director of Miss Global, the franchise holder for the Mistress and Mrs. India pageant, and now we just spoke about you as a TV personnel. What we didn't touch on is you as an actor. Let's talk a little bit about that in your role. You actually played the lead role in the Not Just Another Indian movie, Prem and I, where you played Prem. Tell us a little bit about that and how did it happen?
It happened by accident.
By accident?
Yes. We were putting on the production, and of course, it was written and directed by Dimple Mendonça. Okay. Dimple is a phenomenal member of the entertainment industry here in Guyana, and she was also the founder and leader of the Sitari dance group, which I was a part of. And so she had this vision of this role, and she said to me, she was like, I want you to do this. And I said to her, I said, I don't think so. Why not use one of the other guys?
Yeah.
And I said, Alvin is more muscular. I think he might suit the role better. She said to me, no, I want you to do the role. And I have to give her credit that she really challenged me. And I know Dimple will be looking at the show, so thank you, Dimple. And she really challenged me to bring out my skills. And so she created that platform. And she said to me, go for it and let it go. And you need to bring this character out. And so I read the script and I was going through it. And I really thought to myself, hey, I could be Prem. Why not? Why can't
yes.
I not be Prem? And ever since then, Jamal, the response that we've gotten is phenomenal. I will walk the streets and people say, oh, he's Prem.
He's Prem.
and that by itself really motivated me and really pushed me to take up more roles in acting, and I did.
So before we move off from the hundreds of things that you do, let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about Naturally Designs. Tell us a little bit about Naturally, and what was the inspiration behind starting this brand?
Naturally Designs came about. All credits to my wife, Melissa Pratap Ali, who really initiated.
You made sure you put in that Ali at the end. I'll feel that.
Yeah. I feel that. And it was really her. It's her dream. and I really wanted to make that reality. But something very inspiring happened, and it really led us to birth Naturally Designs. Apart from the many compliments that we would have been receiving for our outfits and our clothing, we managed to didn't we didn't take that until one day I was in a store, a very popular Indian store here in Guyana, and there were this mother and a son. Um, my perception is that they were getting clothes for the daughter's wedding.
Okay.
And so the little boy wanted a matching outfit for him, his father, and his mother. However, the store had one set of matching outfits, but it was something that they could not afford.
Okay.
And this was really, really impactful for this child's life. He was so sad. So he asked his mother, why can't we have that one, which all three of us can have the same? And she said, no, we can't afford it. So again, my perception here is they're not the typical wealthy or mid-range family. They were looking for something more to the lower end. And so I came home and I said to my wife, I said, listen, you wanted this and you're going to have it. Let's do this. And I told her the story and it really moved her. And today we're one of the only Indian designing brands here in Guyana that gives family an opportunity to get the same outfits. Bring your own ideas to life and really be you.
Is that one of your designs you're wearing? I hope so.
It is.
Okay.
It is one of
what is the name of this design?
Oh, this is actually from our Yours and Hers line.
Yours and hers. Okay.
Yeah.
So neat. Yours and hers. That is and hers. I like that.
Yeah. So
yours and hers.
It was actually one of our first line that we introduced.
Okay.
That we introduced when we launched. And it was a combination of female, obviously, and male.
So if persons are interested in purchasing some of your pieces, where can they go?
We have a very active Facebook page, Naturally Designs, and of course, they can get us on telephone numbers 688-0036. That's 688-0036.
Okay, I think it's time for another shot. Which one would you like to try? So
we have to do citron.
The citrus?
Yeah.
Is it? Citron.
Citron.
Yeah, I said citrus.
It's somewhat the same. It's a citrus kind of taste. Yep.
Cheers to Naturally Designs, of course, man. Nice. You did mention your wife, so it's no secret that you are married. What are some of the advice you would give to people who are watching this, that's considering getting married? What are some of the advice you would give to young people that is watching this, that is thinking to get
married?
Call
me old soul.
Old soul.
Yes, call me an old soul. But I believe marriage is something that you can only get involved and do when you're ready. So I believe time is very important for a marriage. And another very impactful and important essence of a marriage is trust and understanding. I believe once you have trust and understanding with your partner, and you really trust and you really understand each other, the sky's the limit for you.
Okay, well, in your own words, what would you say is the best thing about being married? For me, I was once married, and the best thing about being married for me is that companionship. Was that companionship, knowing that you had somebody that you could have be yourself around and stuff. For you, what is that best thing?
I totally agree with you, and it's actually the same. companionship and that support. Once you have a supporting factor, and you have that togetherness of someone, that they're always there for you. They're always going to listen to you. They're always going to support you. Um, you will be surprised of what a driving force that is to your success.
You know, when we first started Intoxicated, my first guest was this guy by the name of Jason Sherland. I know he's no secret, he's no stranger to us. And I was doing some research on him about the stuff that he would have designed and stuff.
Right.
And actually, your wedding photos popped up.
Yep.
And it was an all black wedding gown and all black suit. Where was that inspiration from? When you like an all black, you don't see that at the wedding. Like, how did that came about?
Yeah. My wife and I, when we were planning our wedding, we wanted to be different. It was always her dream to be different, and that she did. From our invitation to our settings to our clothing, she wanted to do this. She wanted to be her. She's always different, and so why not be different on your wedding? And who was the best person to roll in than that of our very good friend Jason Shortland? And Jason really brought our whole description to light, and he even added his own flair to a magnificent piece, and he really supported us through in that entire journey. Kudos to Jason. He's phenomenal. He's one of Guyana's best designers.
Yeah, definitely.
He really brought that to light, and assisted us in executing the entire process. I remember even the night before our wedding, while we were doing the decor, I lost it because the tent was late. This was not going. I lost it and said, "Look, everybody, just go home. Just peep out of here." And he really got a little worked up because here I am doing all this for you, and you're gonna tell me to get from here, But he really stood his ground. He was very supportive, and I'm very thankful.
And very professional also.
Very professional.
What was the response like from your family and your friends when they saw this all black outfit?
No one knew what our outfit would have looked like, except Jason and ourselves. And that's only because of the stigma.
Yeah.
It's a tabooed color, especially for a wedding. You should not wear black because it's
bad luck.
Especially if I'm going to say this to my very traditional Indian parent. I think my mother would have been off on the roof, but I kind of tricked her. So while I was getting dressed in the morning, I came down with a normal. It was a velvet though, curtain that we have done, with the pants, and the pants was black. And so she said to me, "This is what you're going to marry with?" I said, "Yes, this is it." And she goes, "Oh my God, look at the time. It's Sunday. Who's going to open now? Which store is going to open?"
She wanted to buy you something else.
She started to flatter, and then she called my sister and my friends and our family. Everybody was a big talk. Call this person and see to get an outfit. And they were going to go to the store. And I was like, "You need to relax. I have an outfit. This is not the outfit. It's going to be okay. I just can't tell you the color." And she didn't see, I didn't think she saw mine first. She saw my wife.
Your wife, yeah.
Because she came to our house where we were doing this ceremony, but she came on a motorcade. So as she was coming in the street, everybody saw what she looked like. And so my mother was blown away.
Wow.
She thought it was the best thing.
Really?
She loved it.
Damn.
And that was one of the most touching points of that entire ceremony.
Nice. So just like me, you have a son. Tell us a little bit about, what it felt like when you held him for the first time.
I said to myself, "This is real.
This is
Hashim, you need to get your act together. Having a child is so much responsibility. It's more than someone telling you
Yeah.
that it's a responsibility. It's a great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But add into that, Jamal, and you will know, and many of you out there will know, it's so much joy.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of joy and happiness that you get from this is overwhelming.
So tell us, what are some of the values and the life principles that your parents would have instilled within you that you're actually planning to pass over to him?
One of that is definitely to be humble.
To be humble. Be humble, you shall be exalted. Yeah.
So be humble. Always remember where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
Education is priority for us, and of course, our religion comes very close to that.
Okay.
So I believe culture, traditions, education, and togetherness is some of the pillars and the attributes of me, and those will be attributes that will be bestowed upon my kids. Right?
What are some of the adversities that you would have had to overcome to get to this point to where you are today?
Like everybody else, many challenges, many disappointments, many betrayals,
Okay.
Many hurdles. And one of them I would want to share that,
Okay.
no matter how much you think you're accomplished, and how much you think you have, how unstoppable you will think you are,
Mm-hmm.
there will be that time when that reality check is going to happen. And so my reality check, I'm thankful, happened while I was young. Coming out from a car crash,
Wow.
almost probably losing my life. My entire car was written off. That was one that really took me, and it really took me by storm. But it taught me a lesson. It really taught me who were there for me, who I need by my side, and it really taught me that, hey, you're flying, but you need to come back down to earth.
You need to come down.
I'm thankful, and I know that sometimes it may be cliche for you to say that you want to advise people, but you always have to leave room for the unexpected. And I think once you leave that room, then you will be able to move past it and learn from that. And your greatest gift in life is that of maturity.
And what's next for Hashim?
I've been dabbling in a lot of stuff lately. But definitely family comes first for me.
More kids.
No, not more
not
kids,
right now.
But I want to really spend more time with my family. I want to start my family business. I want to take it to another level. I would also want to finish my masters.
Okay, definitely.
So those are stuff that I'm working in, and apart from that, entertainment wise, I said I am working on the society with some other directors for the Passion Society in Guyana. So those are some of the stuff that I'm working for. But those of you who know me, some of you who don't know me, I'm very quick. Like I can
proactive,
have nothing going, and in another 5 minutes, I have a really high agenda and a really packed one to get complete. So, the sky's the limit. I believe that you always challenge yourself, and once you challenge yourself, then you will never remain stagnant. You will always develop, and you will be surprised on what you will get.
Do you have any questions for me?
My question to you, and I don't know if anyone have ever asked you, is why ventured off into such a show? I mean, people will go with the more popular shows, like let me do a morning talk show, let me do an entertainment. But why Intoxicated?
Because just like you said, this exact reason you came up with the Blue Jeans unit, That's why.
Yeah.
I wanted to be different. I wanted to create something that could have promoted the Guyanese culture while, putting a twist it. And my whole thing is that even if somebody were to tune into the Intoxicated show and didn't like the guest or the host, there must be something in it that can spark an interest.
Yeah.
So that's why we have so many different things that's happening in the show, whether it's different culture, whether it's the drinks, whether it's different genre of music or whatever.
Right.
So that's basically it, just to promote the Guyanese culture.
And that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you, man.
Compliment.
Thank you.
I remember looking at the show many years, per year, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years, I think.
2 years.
Yeah.
I really thought what you had back then to what you have now is a vast improvement.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
I believe once you develop, like I just said, once you develop yourself and you always challenge yourself, then you will have the returns. It will come at the right moment. But it will happen.
So before we get out of there, you had the Intoxicated experience. Are there anybody that you would like to nominate to probably come and have this experience?
There's a lot of people.
We
can start
call the names. We got time.
Oh, great. So, let me just shout, just give a few names that will really have this. I would really want to have this experience, but I also want them to share their story.
Definitely.
One of those people will be Roshni Budu. Okay. Roshni Budu is Miss India Guyana 2011. Oh, you're more qualified than I am.
Yeah.
Shoshana Ramdeen, Miss India Guyana 2018. Cynthia Duki, Miss Global International and Miss Global International Guyana 2017. And I will probably put Devi Ramcharitar Lim, who is Miss Guyana Sari Queen 2008.
Okay.
She's also a leader of one of the finest Indian dance group in Guyana. And she is also very interesting. Her story is phenomenal. And all those women will be able to...
I don't think, I would allow, as a fellow man, I wouldn't allow you to leave here and go home and get licks. You need to nominate the most important woman in your life.
I thought that was done. But of course, apart from all of that, my wife should have this experience. Definitely. She really brings a multifaceted approach to life. You think I'm multi-talented? You need to meet her.
She's a dope personality. I've seen her on Facebook.
Brings a unique approach to everything she does. Really phenomenal and a woman of great substance.
Yeah, so before we get out of here, you should let the people know where they can find you if they're interested in getting to know more about you, if they're interested in getting to know more about natural designs and stuff. So, just let them know.
Thanks, Jamal. So, you can hit me up on Facebook, Hashim Alli. All our pages have Facebook. So, Natural Designs, Miss India Guyana, Miss Global International Guyana, and of course, my telephone number is public, 680. I was going to give my wife's number, but it's 680-5999. You could call us, and you're looking at the show, you want to get on board, Miss India Guyana, Miss Global International Guyana, give us a call.
So thanks for coming, man.
Thanks
it was a pleasure.
Much. Thank you. It has been a great pleasure.
Thanks, man. We're out.